Hello. Let me wait for some time. Let me check if the live streaming is going or not. So today a new day, and in alternating current and ray optics we are going to discuss in the Masterstroke series. So as usual, we are going to discuss previous year KCET previous year questions from these two chapters. Now these two chapters are very important in terms of KCET. So as you can see that just let me reduce the volume. Alternating current and ray optics. Yeah. So now so alternating current from this chapter, we are expecting 4 questions in 2026, and ray optics 4 to 5 questions in 2026. So both chapters are super duper important. So let us start with the MCQs first. Obviously what we will be doing, 15 questions of ray optics, 15 questions of alternating current. A ray of light passes from vacuum into a medium of refractive index n if the angle of incidence is twice the angle of refraction, then the angle of incidence in terms of refractive index is. So ray of light passes from vacuum into medium of refractive index n. So initially the ray was in vacuum. Okay, suppose this is vacuum, this is refractive index n, and it travels from this medium to this medium. Okay, if the angle of incidence is twice the angle of refraction, so angle of incidence say is I, and angle of refraction will be I by 2. Okay, then the angle of incidence in terms of refractive index. So you have to find this I in terms of refractive index n. How to solve this? To solve this, what we have to do? We have to use generalized form of Snell's law. What is the generalized form of Snell's law? It says that n1 sine I equals to n2 sine r, right? Sine r is here, this is r, I we have taken I. What is n1? n1 is equals to 1. Why? Because the first medium is here vacuum. Okay, and the second medium here is n, right? So we will put those values. 1 into sine I equals to n into sine. What we will write instead of r? We will write this value I by 2. Right? Now obviously what we know, if there is a sine I by 2 means we have to use sine 2 theta formula. So how to do that? We will write this as 2 into I by 2. Right? We can do that. Sine I can be written like sine I 2 into I by 2. So we can write this as 2 into sine I by 2 into cos I by 2. Right? Obviously. Now let us write that over here. So 2 into sine I by 2 into cos I by 2 equals to n sine I by 2. So sine I by 2 cancels. We get cos I by 2 equals to n upon 2. Right? Cos I by 2 equals to n upon 2, or I by 2 equals to cos inverse n upon 2, or I equals to 2 into cos inverse n by 2. Okay, so it will be 2 cos inverse n by 2. So this is option A, and this question is from 2025. So KCET, those who think that KCET is very easy, it is not very easy, and it is not very difficult as well. So very simple mathematics and physics combined together, we can answer questions. Now let's move on to the next question. Who will answer this one? If you are watching me live, answer this in the comment below. A convex lens has a power P. It is cut into 2 halves along its principal axis. So here we have a convex lens. Okay, so first we cut it along its principal axis like this. Okay, and then further one piece out of the 2 halves is cut into 2 halves perpendicular to principal axis. So one half is again cut into 2 more halves. Okay, now choose the incorrect option for reported lens pieces. So the power given here is P. Now power of a lens is inversely proportional to focal length and it is dependent on the radius of curvature. So if you see that even though this lens is cut into half, its radius of curvatures for both surfaces, for this one and this one, remains unchanged. So the focal length will remain unchanged and thus the power will remain unchanged. So this lower half will have power same as that of the original lens. Only the intensity of the light will be reduced. Otherwise, by cutting a lens into half along its principal axis does not change its power. Hi Bunny, how are you? So if you know the answer, answer this question, right? So the lens L1 should have the same power as the original lens. But when you cut the lens into along the perpendicular direction, it is no longer a convex lens, it's a plano-convex lens. Okay, it is a plano-convex lens. One side is plane, one side is convex, right? So in this particular case, the power will be exactly halved. Focal length will be doubled, power will be halved. Okay, because one side of the lens is now plano-convex lens. Okay, so if you cut it, remember this, if you cut it along the principal axis, focal length does not change, power does not change. If you cut it along the perpendicular to the principal axis, power becomes half, focal length becomes double. Okay, so now let's see the options. Power of lens L3 is P by 2. Power of L3 is P by 2, correct statement. Power of L1 is P, power of L1 is P, correct statement. Power of L1 is P by 2, power of L1 is not P by 2, so this is an incorrect statement. Power of L2 is P by 2, power of L2 is P by 2 is again correct, so only incorrect statement is here option C, right? Good, I am very good. So how is your preparation going on? For KCET, let me know how is your board exam. I hope your board exam preparation is also going very good. Okay, there is something coming for all of you on this Monday, so don't forget to watch that. The image formed by an objective lens of a compound microscope. So objective lens of a compound microscope and be it microscope, be it telescope, the objective lens will is always form real and inverted image. Okay, real and inverted image, real and enlarged image. Okay, here it is given real and enlarged. So objective lens will always form real, enlarged and inverted image. Okay, the eyepiece will form virtual and more enlarged image. Okay, so first enlargement happens by is done by the objective, be it telescope, be it microscope. Okay, it will be virtual, it will be real and inverted. The final image, however, that is formed by eyepiece is virtual and enlarged for both cases. Okay, let's move on. If R and R1 denotes, so the answer is option A. If R and R1 denotes, okay Bunny, see you on Monday. If R and R1 denotes the angles inside the prism, and right now if you want to answer these questions, don't forget to answer in the chat box right now. Okay, if R and R1 denotes the angle inside the prism having angle of prism 50 degrees, there is a small mistake. I am extremely sorry for that. It is not 500, it is 50 degrees. Okay, a small typo. Okay, so if R and R1 are the angles inside the prism having angle of prism 50 degrees, considering that during the interval of time from t is equal to 0 to t is equal to t, R varies with the time as 10 degree plus t square. During this time R1 will vary as, so we know that for a prism when it is undergoing any deviation, the relationship between R and R1, so basically R1 and R2, that if you add them up you will get the angle of the prism. Okay, now here R is given by this value, that is 10 degree plus t square. we are trying to find R1 and the angle of the prism here is given 50 degrees. So R1 will be equals to 50 minus 10 minus t square, that is 40 minus t square. So correct answer is 40 minus t square. Okay. Oh my god, so many comments came. Subhash, ma'am, please do the video of all MCQs question bank. It is live, Subhash. First of all, I am not ma'am. If you are watching some other video, I am not sure. Sir, can you solve this please? Which one? All MCQ of question bank. We are bringing you the most important question of the question bank. You don't need to solve the entire question bank. Question bank has some very difficult questions which will be very difficult for you to answer, and those questions are not going to come in your board exam anyway. So we are solving the questions where you make common mistakes. So we are definitely doing all the important MCQs from the question bank and all the important questions from the question bank as well. A glass prism of refractive index 1.5 is placed in water of refractive index 1.33. The minimum value of the angle of the prism is so that it will not be possible to have any emergent ray. Interesting question. Let's see. So what is the question? Here we have a glass prism. Okay, it is refractive index is given by 1.5. The surrounding medium is 1.33. Now they asked you what will be the angle of the prism, what will be the angle of the prism, say A, so that no ray of light is allowed, is exiting. So the what is the minimum angle of incidence? Minimum angle of incidence is 0 degree. Okay, anything more than that, if it is not happening for 0 degree, then any angle more than that, it will definitely not be possible. So 0 degree means it is entering at an angle, making an angle 90 degrees. Okay, and after it passes, once it falls on this surface, okay, suppose this is the angle of this is the angle of refraction, okay, say R, and on this surface, at the critical case, okay, the angle of emergent must be equals to E equals to 90 degrees. If anything more than I, what will happen? It will totally internally reflect and it will not emerge out of the medium. Okay, so this is the first, you have to understand the question. So when the light is falling normally along the normal, okay, the angle of incidence is 0. Okay, angle of the refraction is equals to R, and angle of emergent is E. Now if you understand this, then this problem is nothing. So we know that for a refraction through a prism, if you add these two angles, the internal refraction angles, you will get the angle of prism. Now in this case, this angle is 0. I is 0, R is also 0. So what only angle is there? This R. This R value we do not know, but what we know, if we add this 0 and R, this should give us the angle of the prism, that is A. Okay, so this is the angle of the prism A. This is the minimum value. Okay, now we apply Snell's law at this exact point. We'll apply the Snell's law at this exact point, and at this point, this is the refractive index 1.33. This is the refractive index 1.5. So 1.5 into sine of R should be equals to 1.33 sine of E. Now E value is known, E value is 90 degree, right? So this is the critical case where for this angle of angle A, it is just emerging out. Okay, anything slightly more than this A value, it will not emerge anymore, it will reflect back. Okay, so this critical angle you have to find. So what is, so R equals to, from here we say R equals to A, right? So 1.5 sine of A equals to 1.33 into sine of 90 degrees. Sine 90 is 1. So sine of A, why sine A? Because from the angle of prism concept, internal angles, if you add the internal reflection angles, you will get that is exactly equals to the angle of the prism. Okay, so these are all theory. So sin A equals to 1.33 divided by 1.5. Now you might think, okay sir, we have reached up to this point, now how to solve it? So I will share a trick for this as well. So 1.33 can be written as 4 by 3. Okay, 1.33 can be written as 4 by 3 and 1.5 can be written as 3 by 2. So it will be 8 upon 9. So from here we get the angle of the prism as sine inverse 8 upon 9. And you are not allowed to use any calculator, so you have to leave your answer exactly at this value. Okay, so they will provide this value. You have to identify and answer it as 8 by 9, sine inverse 8 by 9. Okay, hello, I hope your answer is Pradyum. You got your answer? Vinay Shastri is saying hi. Vinay Shastri is saying A, C, C, C. So this is C, not A. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. So Pradyum, if you are still here, say hi. Okay, thank you Pradyum. Now let's move on to the next. So you have to understand first of all, to solve this question, the logic is very simple. The critical case where minimum angle of incidence is there. Minimum angle, what is the minimum value possible? Minimum value is 0. And the angle of emergent will be maximum. What is the maximum emergent angle possible? Maximum emergent angle is 90 degrees. Right? For any angle of incidence and emergent, minimum value is 0, maximum value is 90 degree. So if you understand that, and if you know that these two internal angles addition is actually angle of prism, then remaining part is simply Snell's law, nothing else. Clear? Now, the final image formed by an astronomical telescope. So 4 questions came from ray optics in 2025. The final image formed by an astronomical telescope is real erect and diminished, virtual inverted and diminished, real inverted and magnified, virtual inverted and magnified. Let's see who can answer. How to find sine with may sine. So if you want to find the exact value of the sine, okay, there are 2 ways. Either they have to give you a scientific calculator, that is not there, or you have to use and this question, if this question comes in your board exam, you can leave the answer exactly as it is. If it is coming in KCET, then they will provide you options in terms of sine inverse value. Okay, sine inverse 8 by 9, sine inverse 7 by 9, sine inverse 1 by 9. So those value will be provided like sine inverse only. And if the question is coming in your board exam, if you know how to use sine and cos table, you can calculate from there as well. But my recommendation is you don't need to use sine and cos table. You can leave your answer in sine inverse form. You will get full marks. Okay, because you are not allowed to use scientific calculator. Even if you leaving the answer in the sine inverse form, you will get full marks for that. Okay, because sine table, cos table are too complicated. I will explain. I will make one video on how to use sine table and cos table. Please be patient. I will make a small video on that as well. Okay, so if you want to find that, you can check that video. How it is 40? Which one? So this is a separate problem. This is a different problem. This is a different problem. Okay, this is a different problem. This is problem asked by Pradyum. He asked this problem that when refractive index of the water is 1.33, refractive index of glass is 1.5, and for what angle of incidence the ray will not emerge out. So that is a separate problem. If you go into the chat, you will find that. Okay, and this is a separate problem. This is the problem that we have solved over here. Here you don't need to do any sine cos. It is directly r plus r1 equals to a. From this formula you can solve it. Clear? Vinay, with more, with me, right? So what is the answer? 5D. Yes, Bunny, correct. Virtual, inverted and magnified. So telescopes or microscope, they always form final images virtual, inverted and magnified. Next, before I continue, if you want me to help you with more problems, if you want more support from our side, then definitely KC30 batch is launched, and the starting date for KC30 is 21st of February. Okay, and what you will get 30 days of live online crash course. In this crash course, you will get KCET previous year questions, complete solution, 10 years complete syllabus revision of your PU1 as well as your PU2, chapter wise KCET PYQs in a test format. Okay, so you will get the test of your chapters, the chapters that you are practicing, you will be able to solve them in the form of a quiz. Okay, and 10 full length KCET mock test, and everything is only for 2499, and this is a special offer price. The offer is valid till 25th of February. After 25th of February, this price will go up. Okay, and this is completely English batch. Now let's move on. If the angle of minimum deviation is equal, is there is it March, but you are saying February, sir? Yes, the batch is starting from 21st March, but the offer price is 25th of February. You can purchase it. You can go into the description section of this video or any video that in our channel, our latest video. There you will find this link of KC30. You can purchase from there, but the classes will start from 21st of March. It's like advance booking. Okay, it's like advance booking when you book movies or theaters or anything like that. So this is advance booking for this special price. Okay, after 25th of February, prices will go up. So if you want to get the lower price, then you have to book it. You can book it till 21st of February, 21st of March, no problem in there, but this special price may not be available then. Okay, so this special price is only available till 25th of February. So do book your seat right now. Okay, now let's move on to the question. The angle of minimum deviation is equal to angle of prism for an equilateral prism. Then the speed of light inside the prism. Very interesting question. Okay, angle of minimum deviation is equal to angle of prism. So we know that refractive index of a prism is given by, in terms of angle of deviation, sine A plus delta by 2 divided by sine A by 2. Okay, so this is the formula. Now in equilateral prism, because it's an equilateral prism, A is given by 60 degrees. Also it is mentioned that the angle of deviation, minimum deviation, delta, is also the same value. Okay, so delta M and the angle of prism both are same. So that means what we can say is that sine 60 plus 60 by 2 divided by sine 60 by 2. So it is sine 60 by sine 30. What is sine 60? Sine 60 is root 3 by 2 and sine 30 is half. So we get the refractive index of the medium of the prism is root 3. So refractive index is calculated. So what is refractive index? Refractive index is speed of light in vacuum divided by speed of light in that particular medium. So speed of light in a medium is given by speed of light in vacuum divided by refractive index, that is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 divided by root 3. So it will be root 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Okay, so as you can see, if the question is coming in KCET, you don't need to find the value of root 3. They will give you options where root 3 is already there, right? Sir, I am getting confused. Should I study for KCET or boards, because I need to complete my boards backlogs, and upon that I have started doing KCET level 2 questions. What should I do? Help me out. It's me extreme. It's me extreme. If you have backlogs in your boards, you first focus on your boards marks, especially if you are preparing for engineering, physics, chemistry, maths. Marks are very important, very important. And one more important thing is that you can occasionally do KCET. For example, we are doing KCET for 2 hours, 1.5 hour, maximum 2 hours. Okay. So you can practice 1 on 1.5 hour for KCET. Other than that, remaining portion of your entire day should go focused mainly on KCET. Okay, you can check if you are actually doing well in KCET, if you are able to solve some of the KCET problems or not. Otherwise, 90% of your time should be focused on boards only, because 50% of your board percentage is coming straight for KCET. So if you are not preparing for boards, then you are losing your marks in KCET exam as well. Okay, so that is my suggestion, that right now, if you want, because when I was the student, okay, like at your age, we also had our board exams, right? So during our board exam, it was sometimes very boring, because boards questions, topics are sometimes feel little boring for us. So what we used to do, we had a small friends group. We used to solve together. We used to sit together for 1 hour or maybe 2 hours per day. We used to solve some questions from JEE, some advanced level questions or some NEET level questions. So those questions we used to solve for fun. It was not like that we are preparing for those exams. We are just solving. Our other friends are preparing. I was not preparing because I decided that I will do degree in physics. So that's why I was just solving with them. I was strong in physics. They used to give me physics problems. Some of them were strong in chemistry. Some of them are strong in mathematics. But what used to happen is that was like a fun time for us. So with doing that, actually that helped us to remove the boringness of board preparation, right? So that thing that you can do for 1 and 1.5 hour, but don't be tensed. You have to be relaxed, okay? And if you are doing KCET, this should be for your not only enjoyment but also for your so it is like an enjoyment, but it is also preparing you for the exam, right? So that is something good. Now let's move on to the next question. A luminous point object O, I hope that helps, right? Extreme. Derivations, final formulas are important, obviously. Final formulas are always important. Even some intermediate formulas are also important, okay? So if you are doing the entire derivation, sometimes some intermediate formula comes and you think, okay, that is that I am remembering now. In the KCET, maybe that is not important, but in some intermediate formulas can also be helpful in KCET. Okay, the approach is also sometimes may be helpful in KCET. Okay, how the derivation is being done. So that approach, that times sometimes you may need to do the same approach to solve a question as well. Okay, so derivation formula, final formulas are obviously important. A luminous point object O is placed at a distance 2r from a spherical boundary separating two transparent media of refractive indices N1 and N2. So here we have two refractive indices N1 and N2. N1 is 4/3 and N2 is 3/2. So this is water, this is air. So this is glass. Okay. Where R is the radius of curvature of this spherical surface. Okay, if N1 equals to 4/3, N2 equals to 3/2 and R equals to 10 centimeter, the image is obtained at a distance P from equal to. So this is the distance which is initially 2r and where you will get the image. So for that you have to use the formula. So assuming that image is forming over here, so this is V, this is U, okay? And we will, even though we do not know, we will have to use some assumption. So N2 by V minus N1 by U equals to N2 minus N1 by R. This is the formula for refraction in a spherical surface. Now this derivation, for example, is not very important for your board exam, and if, this is a starting point for if you are doing the derivation for lens maker's formula. So this formula, you might think, okay, I will just memorize it and I will solve if lens maker formula is coming, but this formula is also important for KCET, as you can see, right? So refractive index N2 is 3/2, V we do not know, N1 is 4/3, and u is 2r, but it will be minus 2r, negative 2r, because it is on the along the negative x-axis. That is equals to n2 is 3 by 2 minus 4 by 3 divided by r. Okay, now we have to simplify this. So 3 by 2v minus plus 4 by 6r equals to 9 minus 8 by 6r. Okay, that is 1 by 6r. Okay, now let's try to find out. 3 by 2v equals to 1 by 6r minus 4 by 6r. So that is minus 3 by 6r. So it will be minus 1 by 2r. Okay, so v equals to, so 2 cancels. Okay, 2 cancels, and we get v equals to minus 3r, that is minus 30 centimeter. R is given 10 centimeter, so the correct answer is minus 30. Now minus 30 means it has to be on this medium, so it has to be on the rarer medium. 30 centimeter in the rarer medium. Rarer medium means water is rarer, glass is denser, so 30 centimeter in the rarer medium is the correct answer. So this is one of the tricky question of KCET. Okay, it came in 2024. Now another question. Yes, extreme, we will be doing, just wait for your board exam to be over. Once the board exam, we have already done important chapters of your KCET. We will do important topics of KCET, and obviously you will get the formula video as well. Okay, and if you are downloading our lectures, if you are following our Masterstroke, individually all chapter PDFs have their formula sheet along with them. Okay, so don't forget to download it. The link of download is given WhatsApp channel. So if you have not joined the WhatsApp channel, join there. Okay, an convex lens of radius of curvature 14 centimeter is made up of two different materials, here and here. Okay, left half and right half of vertical portion is made up of material of refractive index 1.5 and 1.2 respectively, as shown in the figure. If the point object is placed at a distance of 40 centimeter, calculate the image distance. Very, very difficult question. So what we have to do, we have to find the focal length of this one, we have to find the focal length of this one, and then we have to find the combined focal length by using this formula. 1 by f is equal to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2, or f equals to f1 f2 by f1 plus f2. Okay, so this is the combination of lenses. First we have to find f1 and f2. Okay, try to find that and try to find the answer. Let me have a cup of tea. Okay, I am back. What are you doing, Vinay Shastri? Sir, I don't study anything. If I purchase the batch, that is enough to score below 20k. Editing boy, rank with my low rank board PCM is 180 only. Please reply, sir. Editing boy, only don't study means you have to at least listen to the lectures that is there in our KC30 batch. Okay, and actually you are late somewhat. We have launched KC90 back then. You should have joined KC90. That would have been much more helpful. KC30, yes. So there are few conditions that you have to follow. First of all, discipline. Attend all the lectures. Attend all the live sessions. have all of your doubts cleared, okay, because in the live session, in live batch, there will be teachers, they will come, they will ask your doubts. If you don't have doubts, teacher will do some questions answer in that session as well. So do join all the live sessions, do attend all the classes. If you have any doubts, if you have any problems understanding the concept, do ask the teacher, sir, I did not understand that concept, please help me. So you have to attend every lecture seriously, then definitely more than less than 10K you can get if you attend the lectures properly, okay, because we will give you everything, all important questions, all important. Obviously we will do that in YouTube also, but there it will be based on the discipline. YouTube is up to you, but in KC30 batch, if you join, it will be happened systematically and disciplined way. That is the only difference between YouTube and a paid batch. Paid batch, are we teaching something different in the paid batch, and in class maybe a slight little less question in YouTube. But the discipline is very important, and discipline is only possible when you are joining a paid batch, because some other students are also joining in, they are also asking questions. That will also give you some idea, okay, what type of questions, what type of doubts I might have, okay. So that's why discipline is very, very important, and disciplined approach is very, very important. That's why if you join the batch, definitely less than 20K, I can tell you, if you are disciplined, less than 10K is also possible with your PCMB marks, right? So with me I will say that shortcut in KCET physics, there are two types of shortcuts. One is calculation shortcuts, one is formula shortcuts. Now formula shortcuts are not that prominent in KCET. It is prominent in NEET, it's prominent in JEE, because there are a lot of difficult concepts are there where there are shortcuts possible. Here they ask straightforward questions. Okay, they ask straightforward questions. So shortcut means, so if you use this formula directly instead of using this formula, this is a shortcut. Okay, so this is a shortcut for KCET. In JEE there are multiple shortcuts. There are some questions where they will say what will be the null point, left side, right side, etc. Those have shortcut methods. In KCET, so here there is no shortcut. This method has to be solved in a long form. Okay, so lens maker's equation you have to use. 1 by F1 equals to N1 minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. There is no shortcut to this formula. This is a very basic formula and there is no shortcut. So what you have to do, so this surface, when you are considering the first surface, say this is F1, so this one is your radius of curvature, first radius of curvature, which is positive, and that is given by 14 centimeter. Okay, so this is 14 centimeter. And this will be your second surface, which is infinity. Okay, so what you have to do, so this is 14 centimeter and this is infinity. So you just need to put those values, 14 and infinity. There is no shortcut in this problem. So 1.5 minus 1, okay, into 1 by 14. 1 by infinity is 0. So 1.5 minus 1. Now how can you do faster way? 1.5 minus 1 is 0.5. 0.5 is half. So this is a shortcut. Now if you say, sir, why do you write the half? That means you have not understood basic mathematics. So these are the shortcut methods that you can apply while solving KCET. This is a calculation shortcut. So instead of doing everything, you will directly write 1 by 28. Okay, so if you are fast enough in calculation, after writing this, you can directly write 1 by 28. So that is the level of progression you need to solve KCET. Calculation wise, as I mentioned, calculation, there may not be any shortcut except fast calculative power. So F1 is 28. Similarly, now you have realized how to solve it. Similarly, you can say that 1 by F2 must be equals to 1.2 minus 1 into 1 by 14. That is 2 by 10 into 1 by 14. So that is 7. So 1 by 70. So F2 is equals to 70. So because we have done the whole calculation for the first surface, similarly for the second surface, even though plus minus sign will be reversed, but because we know this is also a convex lens, focal length will be positive, so we can simply put this concept. Okay, one side is infinity, one side is r, so this one will be infinity, this one will be minus r, and then you will get the same value. So this is the level of understanding you require to solve the question. So what is the equivalent focal length? Equivalent focal length is 28 into 70 divided by 98, addition of these two. Okay, so you get 14 into 7, 14 into 7, 2, 7, okay, you get this as, sorry, what I am doing. Into 7, 14 sevens are 98. Okay, 14 sevens are 98, 2 14s are 28, 7 10s are 70, so it will be 20. So focal length is 20 centimeter. Now if you see that in this question they have said that object is placed at a distance of 40 centimeters. So object is placed at a distance of 40 centimeter means the image distance is actually equals to twice of the combined focal length. So object is at twice of combined focal length means the image will also be formed exactly at 40 centimeter. Now if you don't have time, to solve such questions, suppose as you realize this is a difficult question, you require some time to solve exactly the way it is required. So if you want to guess the answer, okay, in KCET there is a tendency that the image distance and object distance are given as same. Okay, so if you are guessing 40 centimeter image distance, object distance, image distance can be 40 centimeter. These other values are most likely not be possible, so this should be the correct answer for this question. Okay, so if there is an option given same as object distance, you should choose that for guessing. If you don't have time, if you don't have knowledge to solve the question, 40 centimeter object distance, image distance should also be 40 centimeter. That is my guess. Okay, so this is how scientific guesswork works, scientific and experienced guesswork. This kind of question came in the past of KCET as well, where U and V exactly 2F, 2R, that kind of question. Okay, so here 40 centimeter is given, so 40 centimeter should be the image distance as well. One more case that can be given to you, that focal length, exact focal length was given, so final answer will be infinity. That is also possible. Okay, so those are easy cases. Those easy cases based questions are only common in KCET. Yes, Vinay Shastri, we are coming. After 5 more MCQs, we will be come to AC PYQs. Point object is moving at a constant speed of 1 meter per second along the principal axis of a convex lens of focal length 10 centimeter. Okay, the speed of the image is also 1 meter per second when the object is at a dash centimeter from the center. So as I mentioned, so here as you can see, object speed and image speed, they are same only when they are located at 2f. Okay, for mirror it is 2r, mirror it is r, and for lenses it is 2f. Okay, so here it is mentioned that focal length is 10 centimeter. So what is the twice of focal length? 20 centimeter. So image speed and object speed will be same at 20 centimeter. Next, for a given pair of transparent media, the critical angle for which color is maximum? Now answer this question. This is also KCET 2023 question, easy question. So given pair of transparent media, the critical angle is most for which of the color? So for that you have to know that if the critical angle is given by IC, then that is equals to 1 upon n. N is the refractive index. Okay, so from here we can say that now refractive index n is inversely proportional to wavelength of light. Refractive index is inversely proportional to wavelength of light. So what will be the relationship with sin IC? Sin IC will be directly proportional to wavelength lambda. Right? Enemy of your enemy is my friend. So both of them are inversely proportional. That means it will be directly proportional. Right? So we can say that IC is directly proportional to lambda. It is only possible for sine angles. because as you increase the angle, the sine theta increases. So theta IC or theta C, the critical angle is directly proportional to wavelength. Whoever has highest wavelength will have a higher critical angle. So for which color is maximum? Red color is maximum. Red has highest wavelength, so that means it will be red color. And one more important surprise for all of you, there is a free KCET mock test available for all of you to download, okay, at absolutely free of cost. What you have to do, you have to click on the link in the description section of this video or any other Masterstroke video. Click on there, okay, click on the link and enter the mobile number, enter your mobile number, you will get an OTP, verify the OTP, and there will be very few questions asked, which class you are studying, what is your subject, etc. Once it is done, you will be able to download the PDF absolutely for free of cost. You can keep it in your laptop, keep it in your mobile, take a printout, and you can solve it anytime you want, okay. So this is a free KCET mock test giveaway. Don't forget to download your copy now, okay. For a point object, which of the following always produces virtual image in air? Plano-convex, convex mirror, biconvex, concave mirror. So only convex mirror always produces virtual images in air. Sir, can you please tell the shortcuts as I mentioned? Okay, let's move on to question number 12. An equiconvex lens made of glass of refractive index 3/2 has a focal length f in air. If it is completely immersed in water, the refractive index is 4/3, the percentage change in the focal length. So what is the focal length? 1/f equals to n minus 1, okay, 1/r1 minus 1/r2. For a equiconvex lens it is 2/r. Okay, so this is the shortcut formula. This is the shortcut formula for equiconvex lens. Okay, now initially the refractive index is 3/2. So 3/2 minus 1 is half. So half into 2/r. So the focal length will be r. So initially the focal length was exactly equals to r. Now when you take this lens and immerse it into water, what will happen? The focal length in water will be refractive index of this medium divided by refractive index of water minus 1 and 2/r. Okay, so it will be 3/2 divided by 4/3 minus 1 into 2/r. Okay, so let's see, 9/8 minus 1 into 2/r, or it will be 1/8 into 2/r, so it will be 1/4r. So the focal length in water will be 4r. Okay, so initially the focal length was r, the focal length in water is 4r. So what is the change in focal length? Change in focal length is 4r minus r, that is 3r, and the percentage change is 3r divided by initial focal length into 100%, so that is 300%. So 300% increase, 300% increase. Okay, so correct answer is option C. So after calculating this, don't make it a 400% increase. It increase will be only by 300%. Okay, now consider a glass. I don't know, Sri Raksha, which question you answered? Option C. If you answered the previous question, your answer is correct. Consider a glass slab which is silvered at one side and the other side is transparent. We have a glass slab, one side is glass slab means not a mirror. Okay, glass slab is this, silvered at one side is transparent. Given the glass slab of refractive index 1.5, if a ray of light is incident at an angle of 45 degree on the transparent media, so this angle is 45 degrees. Okay, what will be the deviation of the ray light when it is coming out of the glass slab? So this is a very tricky question, but you don't need to worry too much. Okay, no matter if there is a glass slab present or not. Okay, because it's a simple reflection, because of this there is a silvered side, that means it's a reflection. That means the angle of deviation in reflection is 180 degrees minus 2i, and you can still use that formula over here, 180 degrees minus 2 into 45, that is 90 degrees. So the angle of deviation is by 90 degrees. Okay, normal mirror, if there is a normal mirror, only one mirror, light is falling and reflecting, IR, okay, the angle of deviation is this one, 180 minus 2i. And the same formula is valid even if it is happening through a glass slab, as long as it is coming back, that is the reflection is happening. Now, focal length of convex lens will be maximum for, again colored based question, focal length is equals to n minus 1. So focal length is inversely proportional to refractive index. Focal length is directly proportional to lambda, because refractive index is inversely proportional to wavelength lambda. So that means higher the wavelength, higher will be the focal length. So maximum will be for red light. Okay, focal length is maximum for red light. A ray of light passes through an equilateral glass prism in such a manner that the angle of incidence is equal to angle of emergence, and each of these angles equal to 3/4 of the angle of the prism. The angle of deviation is, so here I equals to E, that means this is the minimum angle deviation condition. Okay, and equilateral prism means A equals to 60 degrees. Okay, and it is mentioned that I and E are actually 3/4 of A. 3/4 of A, that is 45 degrees. Okay, if you put 60 degrees over here, it will be 45 degrees. Now what we know is that angle of deviation is equals to I plus E minus A. Okay, so I plus E means 45 plus 45 minus 60, that is 90 minus 60, that is 30 degrees. So angle of deviation is 30 degrees. Okay, so these are all the formulas that is very, very handy in case of solving KCET questions. Now we are going into AC chapter. Those who are, someone was asking for AC, 14C, yes, 14C is correct. Okay, so this one is also C. Most of the options are coming out to be C. In domestic electric mains supply, the voltage and the current are. So answer this easy question. I will have a sip of water. I had a student in past, her name was also Sri Raksha. I don't know you are the same student or not, but she was a very good student. In domestic electric main supply, the voltage and the current are, so in domestic supply what do you use? We use AC voltage and AC current. We are always using AC voltage and AC current, so correct answer is option D. Yes, both of them will be AC. Now, a sinusoidal voltage produced by an AC generator at any instant t is given by an equation V is equal to 311 sine 314t. Very interesting question. The RMS value of the voltage and frequency are respectively. So 311, remember this, 311. So if voltage is given like this, V equals to Vm sine omega t, right? So from this we can say Vm equals to 311. So RMS value is given by Vm by root 2. Now you have to remember that 311 by root 2 is actually our own 220 volt. Okay, because 220 root 2 is actually 311. Okay, this is how we calculate the maximum voltage value. Okay, so 311 is a standard value, and that gives our standard voltage that we use in our domestic supply. So 220 volt is the voltage. Now what about the frequency? Frequency can be calculated from this omega. So if you see that in this particular question, omega is given 314, right? And frequency is given by omega divided by 2 pi. Omega divided by 2 pi. Okay, so omega is equal to 2 pi f. So frequency is omega by 2 pi. Omega is 314. 2 into pi is 3.14. Okay, so from there we get this is actually 100. 100 by 2, that is 50 hertz. Okay, so 50 hertz is the frequency, and 220 volt is the voltage. This is our domestic supply. So the current or voltage that we are being received in our day-to-day life is actually given by this equation. This is the equation of our domestic power supply. All our equipments actually work on this principle, this equation, right? Series LCR circuit. Okay, Sri Raksha. I had an offline student back 1 year back. Unless and until she is repeating, obviously I guess you are a new student. She was very good student. She was one of the good student, but somehow her JEE exam result was not that good. So maybe she was preparing for JEE repeat. So I thought maybe you are the same student. That's it. Nothing else. She was very good student. One of all our college's best student. A series LCR circuit containing an AC source of 100 volt has an inductor and a capacitor of reactances 24 ohm and 16 ohm respectively. Okay, 24 ohm and 16 ohm respectively. If a resistance of 6 ohm is connected in series, then the potential difference across the series combination of inductor and capacitor only is. So what we have, LCR circuit, okay, 100 volt is the source, inductance and capacitance are already given 24 and 16, so you don't need to do any mathematics for that. Resistance is also given, okay, and they ask you the potential difference across the series combination of the inductor and capacitor. So first stage is to calculate the impedance. What is impedance? Impedance is given by square root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Okay, remember this is the basic formula for AC current. Okay, resistance is given here as 6. Okay, and XL is given 24, XC is given 16. Their difference is 24 minus 16. So you don't need to do it inside this formula, you can directly write them as 8. Okay, so and this is very common, 36 plus 64, 36 plus 64 is 100, their square root will be 10. So impedance is 10 ohm. Impedance is done. Now what you have to do, you have to calculate the current. How to calculate the current? Current is given by the voltage divided by impedance. Voltage is 100 volt and impedance is 10, so current is also 10 ampere. Now they asked you to find the voltage difference across the inductor and the capacitor combination. Okay, resistance you can ignore, current we have calculated, so we have to find the voltage difference across this. So how to do that? So again the equivalent resistance between them is actually the difference between these two, 24 minus 16 into current, that is 8 into 10, that is 80 volt. So the equivalent voltage drop or the voltage drop across capacitor and inductor is this. Okay, so capacitor and inductor always are enemy. They will always try to subtract from each other, be it for inductance, be it the common voltage across them. Okay, they will always be fighting with each other. Now question number 9. which of the following combinations should be selected for beta? This question is out of syllabus. Sorry, this is a Q factor related question. Q factor is not part of the syllabus anymore. This question is out of syllabus, came in 2024. There are few questions in 2024 which are actually out of the syllabus. So this question is one of them. So this question you don't need to solve. If you see this question, you can ignore it. Next, in an LCR circuit, the value of only capacitance C is varied. The resulting variation of resonance frequency F0 as a function of C can be represented as. So we know that what resonance frequency is given by 1 by 2 pi square root of L into C. Right? Yes, correct, Sri Raksha. So F0 is given by 1 by 2 pi square root of L by C. So F0 is inversely proportional to square root of C. So it's just inverse proportional graph. So inverse proportional graph is always looks like this. So inverse proportional graph is always looks like this. Now remember that in KCET, if you see a graph pattern and if you don't understand the question, if you don't have time to solve the question, if you want to guess, this will be the correct guess. Okay, this should be your guess. This pattern should be your guess, and 90% chance this is correct. Okay, so all through years, no matter what is the graph based question, 90% of them always have this pattern as correct answer, which is very interesting, right? 90% of the graph based questions pattern, this pattern is correct. There are 10% cases where other patterns can be correct, but 90% of the cases this pattern is correct. So if you want to guess, this should be your correct guess, right? Now let's move on to the next question. The figure shows the variation of R, XL and XC with frequency F in a series LCR circuit. For what frequency the point in the circuit is capacitive? For what frequency the point in the circuit is capacitive? Okay, so this is XC, capacitive inductance, capacitive reactance. This is inductive reactance. This is inductive reactance. This is resistance. Now, first of all, let us understand what is the meaning of circuit is capacitive. Circuit is capacitive if XC is greater than XL. Then it is called circuit is capacitive. Circuit is inductive if inductance is greater, if inductive reactance is greater than capacitive reactance. Circuit is capacitive if capacitive reactance is greater than inductive reactance. That's it. So basically capacitance dominating the circuit. This is the point where resonance happens. Okay, this is the point where resonance happens. Okay, so resonance means XL equals to XC. Now these 2 points where, as you can see, XC value is decreasing, okay, for C and D, so XC value is much smaller than XL. So these are all inductive. Okay, so this region is resonance, this is resonance. Any point on this side, it is inductive. The circuit is inductive. Any point on this side, the circuit is capacitive. Okay, so any point on the left hand side of the resonance, circuit is capacitive. Any point on the right hand side of the resonance, circuit is inductive. And at the point of resonance, both are same. So correct answer is option A. At the point A, circuit is actually capacitive. Not okay. So there is a trick as well. A is not given as option A. Okay, A is given as option C. So in KCET they give 1, 2, 3, 4. We like to write it as A, B, C, D. Okay, yes, Sri Raksha is correct as usual. Now question number 22. In series LCR circuit at resonance, the phase difference between voltage and current is pi by 4, pi by 2, 0. At resonance, what is the phase difference? What is the phase difference? Phase difference formula is tan inverse XL minus XC by R. Okay, XL minus XC by R. Now here at resonance XL is actually equals to XC, so that means XL minus XC is 0, so it is tan inverse 0. Tan inverse 0 means phase difference is also 0. So current and voltage are in phase, so phase difference is 0. Okay, yes, correct. Now question number 23. An ideal transformer has a turn ratio of 10 when the primary is connected to 220 volt 50 Hz AC source. The power output is, so it is an ideal transformer, turn ratio is 10, primary is connected to 220 volt. Okay, so what is the output power? 1 by 10th of the power input equal to power input 0, 10 times the power input. So because it's an ideal transformer, you don't need to do any mathematics here. Okay, so mathematics is given to confuse you. So you have to understand that this is an easy conceptual question. Ideal transformer means the power input and power output both will be same. Okay, equal to power input. You don't need to calculate. If they ask you what is the power exactly, so that is a JEE level question or a Comet K level question. There you have to use this turn ratio to calculate the current, and then from there you can calculate the power. So that will be a little longer process. Okay, but this is not required over here. Which of the following represents the variation of inductive reactance XL with the frequency of the source nu? Now this is a particular case where this option is wrong. So I mentioned that 90% of the cases this pattern gives you correct answer, but this question, this pattern is not correct. Okay, so we know that XL equals to 2 pi F into L. So XL is directly proportional to frequency. So if you plot a graph, it will be a straight line passing through origin. It will be a straight line graph passing through origin. So correct answer is option A. Right? Now let's move on to the next question. An alternating current is given by I equals to I1 sin omega t plus I2 cos omega t. The RMS current is given by. So RMS current, how to calculate RMS current? Normally RMS current is given by maximum current divided by √2. Now when you have a combination of these two, you can find the current like this. Current I equals to Im sin omega t plus phi. If you can find this, then you can write the same equation and you can calculate it. Now to convert this equation into this, you have to use a substitution. What substitution we will be using? I1 equals to A cos phi and I2 equals to A sin phi. Right? We use this kind of substitution all the time in our mathematics, in integration and differentiation. Same formula we will be using over here. So we get I equals to A cos phi sin omega t plus A sin phi cos omega t, right? We can calculate the A and phi from this equation. So we can take A equals to sin omega t plus phi, right? Sin A plus B formula. Now what is the value of A? To find the value of A, we have to square both sides and add them. So we can say A square equals to I1 square plus I2 square, right? Sin square and cos square theta is common. So A is basically square root of I1 square plus I2 square. So from this we can say that the maximum RMS here is A by √2. Maximum current is this, right? So IRMS is actually square root of I1 square plus I2 square divided by √2. So correct answer is I1 square plus I2 square divided by √2, that is option A. Okay, now next question. A series resonant AC circuit contains capacitor of 10 to the power of minus 6 farad and an inductor of 10 to the power of minus 4 Henry. The frequency of electrical oscillations will be. So resonant AC circuit frequency is given by 1 by 2 pi square root of L into C. So L is given, C is given, put it, calculate frequency, as simple as that. So 1 by 2 pi square root of 10 to the power of minus 6 into 10 to the power of minus 4. So it will be 1 by 2 pi 1 by square root of 10 to the power of minus 10. So it will be 1 by 2 pi 1 by 10 to the power of minus 5. So 10 to the power of 5 divided by 2 pi. 10 to the power of 5 divided by 2 pi, that is F naught. So correct answer is option A. Next, in a series LCR circuit, R is 300, L is 0.9 Henry, C is 2 microfarad, omega is 1000 radian per second, then the impedance of the circuit. Now this is an easy question because you don't have to go through the complicated frequency process. Omega value is directly given. So how to solve that? L is given 0.9 Henry, C is given 2.2 microfarad. So we know that XL is given by omega L, 2 pi FL or omega L. Omega is 1000 and L is 0.9, so it will be 900 ohm. What is XC? Capacitive reactance. It will be 1 by omega C, that is 1 by 1000. Let me write 1000 as 10 to the power of 3. Let me write omega as 10 to the power of 3, and C is 2 microfarad. Micro means 10 to the power of minus 6. Okay, so we can write this as 1 by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3, that is 1000 divided by 2, that is 500. Okay, so what we can say is that what is the impedance? Impedance is given by square root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. So R square, what is R? R is 300 plus XL is 900 and XC is 500 whole square. Okay, so this is 300 square. So we get 300 square plus 400 square. So this must be 500. Okay, 3 square plus 4 square, square root is 5. We know that 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16. So if you add them, you get 25. Square root of 25 is 5. So 100 square, both of them are 100. That means it will be equals to 500. So correct answer is 500 ohm. Next, yes, 26A was correct. 26A, 27 also A. Now answer this, 28. What will be the reading in the voltmeter and ammeter of the circuit shown? Here we have shown us a circuit where, so if you see that in this circuit XC and XL are given same. So XC and XL are same means, what is this condition? This must be in resonance condition. Okay, so resonance condition is where XC and XL are same. So XC and XL are same, so voltage drop across this will be 0. So this will be giving you no voltage drop. Okay, this will give you no voltage drop, so V must be equals to 0, because in resonance condition you can simply replace XC and XL by conductor and the circuit remain unchanged. It is a purely resistive circuit and resistance is connected somewhere here. Okay, so here the voltage drop will be 0 across V. What will be the current? To calculate current, you have to calculate the current, you have to use this resistance. Voltage is given as 90 volt. So current will be 90 divided by 45, that is 2 ampere. So voltage reading will be 0, current will be 2 ampere. Voltage reading will be 0 because XC and XL, they are cancelling each other, and the voltage drop across this combination is 0. Next, A series LCR circuit contains inductance 5 millihenry, capacitance 2 microfarad and resistance 10 ohm. If a frequency AC source is varied, what is the frequency at which maximum power is dissipated? Now again same question. So this is the most repeated concept of the chapter AC. So if you are varying the frequency of AC circuit, then maximum power is dissipated only when the circuit is in resonance. So only when the circuit is in resonance, so XL equals to XC, and the frequency is given by 1 by 2 pi square root of LC. So as you can see, concepts, resonance based concepts are repeated continuously in KCET, right? So 1 by 2 pi L is 5 millihenry. Milli means 10 to the power of minus 3. Milli means 10 to the power of minus 3, and micro means 10 to the power of minus 6. Okay, so it will be 1 by 2 pi into 1 by 10 to the power of minus 9 plus 10 plus 1, that is minus 8. 10 to the power of minus 8. So it will be 10 to the power of 4 by 2 pi. Okay, almost similar question, 10 to the power of 4 by 2 pi, but here the answer is slightly different than the previous one. If you see in the division, there is no 2 pi given. Sir, then how can I tell the answer correctly? So your answer must be wrong. No. So what you have to do, you have to make it 10 into 10 to the power of 3 divided by 2 pi. So now you see that it will be 5 by pi into 10 to the power of 3. So 10 to the power of 4 by 2 pi or 5 by pi into 10 to the power of 3 are same. Okay, so this correct answer is option C. A step down transformer has 50 turns on secondary and 1000 turns in the primary windings. If a transformer is connected to 220 volt 1 ampere AC source, what is the output current of the transformer? Okay, so primary turns is 1000, secondary turns is 50, current itself is given, and they directly ask you what will be the current. So as you can see, it's a step down transformer, so current will increase. So current in the secondary divided by current in the primary equals to number of turns in the primary divided by number of turns in the secondary, right? Vs, yes. So amount of current in secondary equals to number of turns in primary divided number of turns in secondary into IP. Now number of turns in primary is 1000, number of turns in the secondary is 50, and current in the primary is 1, so it will be 20. So it will be 20 ampere. The current in the secondary will be 20 ampere. Remember, because it's a step down transformer, voltage should decrease, current should increase. So your answer should be always greater than this 1 ampere. Okay, only one is less, by the way, but you have to check it. So this is the end of today's lecture, and this is the last lecture of your Masterstroke series live lectures. Now we will be taking lives for your PU2 board exams. Masterstroke recorded lectures, that is Masterstroke theory lectures, will continue because that is also important for your board exams. So Masterstroke recorded lectures will be continuing, but Masterstroke live lecture will be end here today. We will be coming live with all of your PUC level doubts, level questions, etc. very soon from Monday onwards. Actually not very soon, not very late, from Monday onwards all the PUC related doubts and questions will be discussed, and then after your PUC exams is over, we will be coming back with lives for your KCET PYQs, KCET most expected questions, everything we will discuss there, right? So all the best for your KCET preparation. So I request you, don't stop KCET preparation. At least a daily 1-2 hour you should invest in KCET preparation. But PU preparation should take first. Okay, if you are going to college, right now for attending classes or lectures or whatever doubt sessions, then you may not have the time to study everything. So then you have to focus only on PU2. If you are not going to college, if you are studying from home right now, then you should focus mainly on boards and some half an hour, 1 hour relaxation for your KCET preparation, right? Sir, for board MCQ, yes, Sri Daksha, board MCQ is coming. It's already recorded. It will be either Monday or Tuesday. Physics board MCQs will be coming to all of you, and other subjects are also being followed. And board MCQ level questions, there is one recorded lecture. Okay, more than 100 questions will be covered in that one lecture. That is very standard questions. And some more questions we will be practicing every day during live sessions as well. So all the live sessions that is going to happen from Monday onwards, except there is a Monday, there is a launching happening on Monday morning. And then onwards, whatever lectures we are doing, we will be solving more MCQs, okay, till your board exams. And before your board exams, there are 2-day gap for physics. So during that time also, we'll be solving numericals, we'll be solving MCQs, we'll be solving some questions which you might feel difficulty, derivations, everything will be covered. So don't worry, we will be covering everything. Board MCQs, board numericals, board level 2-3 marker, derivations, what the mistakes that you are making while doing those, answering such questions. So everything will be covered there, right? So I hope you are okay with this. So see you in the next live. Till then, bye.